Okay, so today we're going to look at assigning these buttons on the bottom of my Onn Remote Control to different apps. So as you can see, I've got one there assigned to YouTube, I've got Netflix, I've got Disney Plus, and I've got Paramount Plus. But the only service I actually use on here is YouTube, so it would be good to reassign it to other apps. Like, for instance, I could reassign the Netflix app to the BBC iPlayer, the Disney app to My5, say, the Paramount Plus app to Downloader. So when I press those buttons, those particular apps load. All the details coming up shortly. Don't forget to like this video, share it and subscribe to my channel. Doing these three things help us make more great videos for you. So as I say, today I'm going to be reassigning these buttons on the bottom of my Onn 4K streaming box remote control so they open different apps rather than the ones that they're currently pre-assigned to. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go up to apps, and we're going to have to search the App Store. So let's go across to the magnifying glass there, and I'm going to hold down the microphone button on the remote and say Button Mapper.
Here's Button Mapper on the Google Play Store.
So there we go. We need Button Mapper, remap your keys. So once that comes up, middle button on the remote. And this bit might take a bit of time. It really does depend on the speed of your internet connection and the speed of your device too. So mine's now downloaded, it's now installing, so hopefully shouldn't take too long. So once it's installed, go down to open, middle button on the remote control, and then it's going to tell us here, it says start accessibility service. Please go to system settings, then accessibility, and enable the Button Mapper accessibility service. The service is used to detect when buttons are pressed on your device so they can be remapped. If there's no accessibility settings, go to setup.buttonmanager.app for more info. So I'm going to just press the OK button or the middle button on the remote control. So I'm just going to try and find accessibility now. So I'm going to go into system, and there it is just on the right. So press the right hand side of the ring and then right again, and let's go down to Button Mapper. And there you go, it's saying it's off. So with it highlighted, middle button, and then middle button again, and that turns it on. And thankfully, it takes us back to Button Mapper. So what we want to do is we want to go to add buttons now. So go down to that middle button, and here we go. So let's just go down to the second add button. And it says here, be careful, remapping certain buttons could make navigation difficult. If you get stuck, attach a USB mouse to your Android TV to undo the changes. So follow this guide and hopefully you should be all right. So let's press the middle button again. And it's asking us to press the button to add. So this is the button we want to change. So I'm going to press the Netflix button. So let's just press the Netflix. And then I'm going to go down to button 4, as it's called it, highlight it, middle button, and okay, so we've got this here saying pro features are reserved for supporters of the app. Upgrading to pro unlocks all features and themes. So if you do find this useful, then it's worth considering supporting this and going pro. But for the time being, we can go across to no thanks, middle button, and then we want to press the middle button on the remote control to turn customize on. Go down to single tap, middle button. Then what we want to do is want to go up to actions up there, middle button, go down to applications, middle button, and we want to find the app that we want that button to open. So I'm going to go to BBC iPlayer. That's it. Now, if you want to, you can assign multiple apps to one button, because you can have one app is a single tap, the other app is a double tap, or you can have long press. At the moment, I'm just going to do a single tap for the BBC iPlayer, but I'll show you in a moment what I mean by assigning multiple other apps. So, okay, so I've assigned that. So let's just come out of this now and go all the way back. Let's go all the way back to the main menu. There we go. We're back at the main menu. And now when I press the Netflix button, instead of Netflix opening up, there we go. The BBC iPlayer opens up. So that's great. And then I can obviously sign in if I've not signed in already, like I haven't. So let's just exit out of that and let's go back into Button Mapper. So I'm just going to say on the remote control with this held down, Button Mapper.
Opening. Button Mapper.
There you go. So let's add something else. So if I go to add buttons again, press the button to add. So this time I want to change the Disney Plus button. Okay, so that's registered as button 9. Highlight that, button number 9, middle button. Go to no thanks, but do consider obviously subscribing, and go down to customize, turn that on, go down to single tap, middle button, go down to the application you want. If applications aren't shown there, if it's got actions there, then middle button on the remote control, go down to applications, and then let's go down to, there you go, my 5 on the single tap. So back button, back button, back button, keep going back till you go back to the main menu, and then let's just test it out. Disney Plus, that should open my 5. There you go, it's opening my 5. So as I said, you can assign several different tasks to one particular button if you want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign the Netflix button also to downloader. So let's just go back into button mapper. So I'm going to hold the microphone button down. Button mapper.
Opening. Button mapper.
There we go. So it's opening that. So if I go to add buttons just there, and if I go to button 4, which is the button that's been assigned to Netflix, let's go to no thanks. And now if I select double tap, so if I wanted to double tap it, it would then open a different app. So let's just say if I double tap it, it opens downloader. And okay, so if I also say a long press, so if you hold the button down for a long time, then let's assign something else to that. Let's go to send files to TV, say. So there we go. Now some of these options are applicable to a phone, like button vibration. This remote doesn't vibrate, so we can't do anything with that. So let's just go back, go right the way back here. So now if I double tap Netflix like a mouse, downloader opens. So let's just go back. Now if I long press Netflix, so hold it down and then let go, send files to TV opens. So let's just recap. If I single tap Netflix, the BBC iPlayer will open. BBC iPlayer does take a while to open. There we go. If I double tap Netflix, downloader will open. And if I long press it, then send files to TV will open. So effectively there, you can assign up to 12 different tasks to these buttons. So there we go. If you want to remove the tasks from these buttons, then all we need to do is we just need to go back into button mapper. So I'm going to hold down the microphone on there, button mapper.
Button mapper.
And if I go back to add buttons, and then say for instance I wanted to take off these, I can go across to the bin, middle button, and then go across to the bin on the next one, middle button, and then press the home button. And now everything should have been restored. So if I press Netflix, it should then just open Netflix if I've got Netflix installed, which I haven't. I actually took it off, so the button doesn't do anything at the moment. But if I press the Disney Plus, there you go. Disney Plus is now getting ready to install on there, but Netflix on mine is disabled. Sorry, I did forget I disabled that. So there you go. That guide shows you how to remap these 4 buttons on your ONN remote. No doubt this guide also works for other Google TV and Android TV boxes too. If it does, then please let us know in the comments down below. I hope you like this guide, and if you did, consider hitting that thanks button and making a donation to this channel, or have a look in the description down below where you can go and visit my Amazon shop. You can have a look at VPNs, Fire TV sticks, Fire TV cubes, Firestick accessories, etc. Donating, buying or subscribing through those links really does help support this channel. It helps me to be able to dedicate more time into researching and bringing you these videos. Also, whilst you're at my YouTube channel, why not stick around? I've got thousands of other videos for you here right now covering all sorts of subjects. Hopefully whilst you're here, you're going to find something to educate you, entertain you, amuse you, and maybe even save you some time and money.